Hey y'all, welcome to the Glow Getters podcast. Thanks for watching or listening. I'm happy you're here today. Today I'm going to give you some perspective, some advice, a new way or maybe an old way to remember to think about different things that happen in your life. And so it's going to be, tangible, but it's not going to be something that like a physical tool or a template that you can pull out of your back pocket. This is more mindset. So recently, my team and I have been pulling off some pretty crazy, wonderful things, huge feats, and I'm really proud of everybody who's done the work. At the same time, whenever you have work that's highly visible in an organization or to other people, there's going to come with criticism, right? People are going to have different opinions about how you should be doing things, handling things, how they would have done it. And I find myself reading some of these emails or getting some of this feedback and thinking, gosh, yeah, that might have been a good idea. Or no, they don't even understand what's happening on the back end. And so I think when people give criticism or they, try to get involved, it's usually well-intentioned. They want to help you. But often it comes from a place of not really understanding or knowing all the things behind the scenes that you're just taking care of or dealing with. And so I think that I'm not saying that advice or criticism isn't helpful. I love asking for feedback. I think it's very important. But I think you have to remember whose feedback is truly worth listening to. Now, it's really hard when you get feedback from someone you love to not let it get to you or think about it and resonate with you all the time. It might be engraved in your mind if you can think of something that your mom said, for example, and you can't get it out of your head. It's just something you'll never forget. Probably something well-intentioned, and maybe it wasn't even relevant. Maybe it doesn't matter anymore. Maybe you've grown. Maybe you're a new person. But it's hard to, get it unstuck. So I think this is something that can give you perspective for when you're dealing with people who are giving you criticism or being critical of you or pointing out all of your stumbles and not really recognizing you for the good things. So this is actually a speech passage I'm going to read to you from Theodore Roosevelt. This is part of the book Daring Greatly by Brene Brown. The whole reason she named the book Daring Greatly is from this passage in this speech. So I want to read it to you. It's called The Citizen in a Republic, or the speech is sometimes referred to as The Man in the Arena, and it was delivered at the Sorbonne in Paris, France, in April 23rd, 1910. So it reads, "It is not the critic who counts, not the man who stumbles out who points out how the strong man stumbles, or the doer of deeds could have done better. The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood, who strives valiantly, who errs, who comes short again and again, because there is no effort without error or shortcoming, but who does actually strive to do the deeds, who knows great enthusiasms, the great devotions, who spends himself in a worthy cause, who at the best knows in the end the triumph of high achievement, and who at the worst, if he fails, at least he fails, daring greatly." Whenever we pursue something in life, whenever we do something public, or we speak out, or we implement a program, whatever it is, we put ourselves out into the world. And Brene Brown talks about how this really takes vulnerability. It can be really hard. Think about social media, to share something personal on there. For example, I shared my struggle with infertility and my ectopic pregnancies. And before I shared that, I felt super lonely and kind of ashamed. But then once I shared it, I felt so much better because I realized I wasn't alone. But it's so hard to put ourselves out there because we're afraid of all the criticisms we might receive. But at the same time, the only opinions that matter are the people that are in the arena doing it with you. If they're not even in the arena, They're not in the thick of it. They're not striving to do X, Y, Z, better themselves, participate, actively help, dig in, roll their sleeves up, be in the moments with you, then their opinion really doesn't matter. It's just the people who are in the same space in the arena, who are with you, who are doing the things. That's who matters. So you think about maybe a parent that says something to you at a really young age. You can't get it out of your head. You're like, oh, they said that thing. Well-intentioned, might not even be relevant now, but it rings true in your head as criticism. But is your mom or dad doing the thing that you want to do that brings you joy? Do they even fully understand what it is that you do? If the answer is no, then you can love them and respect them and hear what they have to say, but you don't have to take it to heart and let it crumble you. And you can just realize that maybe it doesn't matter as much as the other people who are in the arena with me doing the thing, who get it, who understand, who are walking side by side with me, who are cheering me on day to day. That can be so hard to set boundaries around the people that we love and accept criticism from the people that matter. But I think it's also really freeing, because guess what it means? It means that not everyone's opinion really matters, because not everyone is as brave and as strong as you. Not everybody is digging in as hard as you or working as hard as you. Not everybody is taking leaps of faith and putting themselves out there. Not everybody is trying something new every day, making mistakes. Not everybody is brave enough to show up imperfectly, perfectly imperfect. Not everyone is willing to show up with vulnerability. I read somewhere, I think it might have been one of Brene's books, is, being bulletproof and, resilient and on all the time seems really sexy, but it's actually not at all, because it gives people a misconception of what's actually real. Vulnerability is where it's at. So I just wanted to leave you with this, that think about the people that are in your arena, that are doing the things you're doing, that are on a personal development, self-discovery, personal growth, want to be better leaders, striving to be 1% better every single day, who are tenacious as hell, who are doing their best, who are showing up perfectly imperfect. Those are your people. Those are the people that, at least when they fail, they're failing greatly because they're trying, they're putting themselves out there, and they're being vulnerable. It's not the people on the outside looking in at you, the people who don't know your story, who haven't come inside and tried next to you, who haven't rolled up their sleeves, who aren't doing the work, who aren't on that same journey. So when you get that criticism from those types of people, you can just hear it and let it go. And you can remind yourself, does it matter? They're not in the same place that I'm in, and that's okay. But I'm in the arena with these amazing people, and I'm showing up greatly. I'm vulnerable. I'm making effort. I have my blood, sweat, and tears into it. And those are the people whose opinions matter. So if you're going through this right now, let me know. I'd love to hear if you read Daring Greatly or Dare to Lead, two of my favorite books by Brene Brown. I'd also recommend her podcast. It's lovely. It's very wonderful. And I just love how she's so okay with being imperfect herself, but also she always jokes about how she kind of sucks at vulnerability too, and that's why she studies it. It's hard to be vulnerable and to make mistakes, but guess what? If you don't ever do the thing, then you're way further behind than if you tried and failed. So you might as well do the thing and make some progress, fail, and then get better and keep going, rather than wishing you did, but you don't, because you're scared of never being able to make a mistake. Everybody makes mistakes, and you'll be forgiven. And honestly, it's totally normal. All right. Good luck. If you like this, give me a thumbs up if you're watching on YouTube, and subscribe, please. And if you're listening on the podcast, I would so love it if you gave me a good rating or review. Anywhere you listen to podcasts, especially on iTunes, go over there, give me a nice review, 5 stars, and some comments. Tell me what you love about this podcast and what you'd like to hear more from me about. I so enjoy doing these for you, especially these more reflective ones. I'll be with you back next week, next Tuesday, with another episode. All right. Take care, everybody. Bye.